I'm Eric Sorensen with Sorensen's Guide to Powerboats. There's a boat for everybody, as the saying goes, and one of the hulls that makes a lot of sense is a long, skinny displacement hull, and that's all you used to find, for the most part, many years ago, because available horsepower was so low, you just couldn't take a big, fat planing hull like we have today and put enough power in it to make it go anywhere. So this Farallone, an old wooden displacement cruiser, you can tell by looking at the hull, it's long and it's skinny. And that makes the boat very efficiently propelled up to its hull speed. So it can't get on plane. Look at the sections in the stern. You can see that the transom is mostly out of the water. It's called an emerged transom. And what that does is it allows water flow as the boat's going along at 6 or 7 knots, which is about good cruising speed, low resistance cruising speed for that boat. Looks like it's around 50 feet. It will have very low wave making resistance, and that's really what you want in a displacement boat, is how much, it's not the frictional resistance, which doesn't really pick up until you get going faster than that boat can go. It's the wave making resistance. The boat is long, skinny, it's got a low profile. That's typically the way boats were in those days. As a matter of fact, it's got a little higher profile in the bow because it's got what may be an addition added on later with a big trunk cabin up forward to give you standing headroom. But with those long, narrow lines, the easy entry, it's actually got a very fine entry, and the stern that comes up out of the water, it just allows water to flow right down the hull with very little resistance at 6, 7, or 8 knots. And of course, you can take the square root of the length. Let's just say, for argument's sake, that it's got a 49-foot waterline. The speed of length of 1 would be the square root of that. It'd be 7. And it would go up to about 1.34 to 1.4 maximum speed. 7 times 1.4, about 9.8 knots would be top speed for that boat. The reason it can't go any faster because an open ocean wave of the same length goes that speed. And in order to go faster than that, it would have to climb up in its bow wave, which it physically can't do because of the shape of the stern of the boat. But for its application, it goes along very easily, very comfortable. They tend to roll. If they have some lead in them to keep them more stable, that takes a lot of the roll out of it, makes them more comfortable. Certainly they're a wonderful boat if you're happy going 6 to 8 knots. You can burn very little fuel and have a very small engine. You could probably get hull speed out of that boat with 80 horsepower. A big slow turning diesel, big reduction gear, and a big prop would be ideal for that boat. Once again, necessity is the mother of invention. They didn't have big engines, so they designed the hulls around the power they had, just like we do today, and that's the result. I'm Eric Sorensen with Sorensen's Guide to Powerboats.